And overall sponsors and going to Honda Cars and the use of the awesome CRV Medic car. And remembering those specials, folks, 3.9% deposit and 0% interest. Some amazing financial deals. Check it out from your Honda dealer. You can go to Mick at Honda Cars Manawatu or go to honda.co.nz. What about the third payment? You can be into the world's best motor vehicle and getting it at an amazing price. So your terms to suit for payments. Remembering, of course, you've got the fantastic CRV. You've got the awesome Civic, probably the #1 selling car in New Zealand back in the 90s, and it can be again in this century. So bring it home with Honda Cars.
All right, good start away there for the Honda Cars sponsored Kramer of Jacob Stroud, and Chris Huddleston as well got a good start as they flow down into turn 1. The Pirelli tyres right-hander, and I noticed the 125 250 monos, they're going to get a separate start, separate set of lights as well. So they've hung back, they're still on the line, so we'll catch the update for them as well. And lights are on at the moment, and there we go, a good start there from the S of Yanni Shaw. He's won everything he's touched so far, but Dan Jenkins on the RS125, he's on the inside as well as they head into turn 1. Chris Malcolm there on the other D6 Motorsport bike will be in second as they cross the line as we head back to the super light battle, and it is Jacob Stroud on the number 70 Kramer. He is in first place coming around the Swampies curve there, and Chris Huddleston. We haven't seen the best of Chris Huddleston so far this weekend, and this is better stuff in second place, chasing hard as they head into the double bastard. This is going to be a 10-lap race. This is a full-on TT as well for the super light and 125 GP 250 mono class. So there's the 15 of Jenna Charlotte. He's in third place with Richard Mark and Barrett in fourth at the moment. So brilliant stuff from the super light boys, and Jacob Stroud. He won convincingly here on Saturday, the race one, but unfortunately couldn't quite back that up, and Dennis Charlotte pipped him at the line for race 2 earlier today. So all to play for here for the Superlight class, and a mixture of single cylinder machines and multis. There's Jacob Stroud, he's on a single cylinder 690 Kramer Evo. You've got Chris Huddleston in there, he's on a 3-cylinder 450 machine, where you've taken a 600 machine and disabled one of the cylinders to make it compatible with the Superlight class. And you've got Dennis Charlotte, that's a 2-stroke 400cc machine, a single cylinder 2-stroke, and that there is a TZ 350 that's been added some homemade parts and made into a Superlight racing machine. And then you've got Richard Mark and Barrett in fourth place as well. That's another single cylinder 700cc KTM engine machine, as Dennis Charlotte looking to push the issue and looking get up into second place, and makes it happen. So Dennis Charlotte now, the Mega Motorcycle Centre Underground Brown number 15 Wobbly 400, it is up into second place. Chris Huddleston now back to third, and meanwhile, while those two are arguing for position, the 70 of Jacob Stroud just sneaking off into the distance perhaps. So we did this on Saturday, race 1 of the class, and out there flying at the moment. So what a awesome little group there is at a 4-pack fighting out for the Superlight TT, and still anyone's race with a big 10-lapper here they get. Looking at the update, so Yanni Shaw, Chris Malcolm, Taron Ocean there up into third, and Campbell Grayling with Dan Jenkins in fifth. So that's your 125 and 250 mono update at the moment as well. So all to play for here in that 125 GP mono class. We'll have a look at trying to keep an eye on the results, but this Superlight class is electric at the moment, and Dennis Charlotte is definitely trying to latch onto the back wheel of that Kramer. Heading into turn 10, the Pirelli sweeper at the northern end of the circuit. It is the 70 sweeping around there, but then look at that awesome little 2-stroke power. So Dennis Charlotte has definitely got that bike where he wants it so far this weekend, and he'll swing up alongside the Kramer, and then look at that 2-stroke power just wind on. So we're going to have a new race leader as they cross the line, as the 15 of Dennis Charlotte in the lead of this one as they come into turn 1. Jacob Stroud relegated back to second with Chris Huddleston in third, and Richard Bark and Barrett there on another Kramer there in fourth place at the moment.
Johnny Lewis a distant fifth, but all the action at the front four. Again, TT titles up for grabs, as you heard Brad say. So these guys won't be asking for or drawing any quarter. This will be full-on racing. I said that Jacob might have been getting a little bit tired, but he's been out on yet another class of racing here at Hampton Downs for Motorfest. Sorry folks, I've got to tell you that the Legends Garage, the photo booth, has been wrapped up for the day, so if you didn't get your photo, you missed out. You'll have to come back next year and do that. But what a great promotion that's been for Star Insurance. The fact that you can have your photo taken, or you could have had your photo taken with a legend, and you take back a lasting souvenir here from Motorfest. So thank you to Star for putting that on for us here today.
Yeah, brilliant stuff. The update there at Hypel Hampton. Jacob Stroud sneaks up the inside, but runs in a bit deep, and Dennis Charlotte argues straight back. So they're side by side as they head into the Porsche dipper, and I'd say that Kramer there with just the nice big brakes on it gets back underneath in the dipper. So we've got a change of the race lead, and Jacob Stroud, but Dennis Charlotte not done with this one. He'll sneak up around the outside. Oh, that's a big move around the outside and running into turn 10. So I think he's pulled it off. I think.
Yeah, I think
that Kramer in the middle of the corners really electric. So this thing is going to be an awesome little sprint to the line, but when Dennis Charlotte winds up that two-stroke power, we'll see what happens. Starting to just sneak away a bit there, but it will be Dennis Charlotte. So there's going to be 7 laps to go, 3 down. There's the 15, the Mega Motorcycle Centre man from Christchurch, the president of Motorcycling Canterbury up here, and this is one of the titles he has not won as a New Zealand road racing legend. So
one of the few.
One of the very few, and that's definitely going to be all on for young and old here when they start getting to the business end of this championship. But it is Dennis Charlotte leading, Jacob Stroud in second, and then we go back to Chris Huddleston in third with Richard Mark and Barrett in fourth. So that's your top 4 in your super light class at the moment.
I'll tell you what, Dennis would have had his heart in his mouth because Jacob showed him the edge of the track heading down into that sweeper. He was making him go around the long way, and that's what he did.
Yeah, so we've got to change for the lead. So Jacob has managed to get that done in the little snaky part. So Jacob Stroud back into the lead of this one. So what a brilliant, they've been hammer and tongs all championship so far. So brilliant stuff from these two. And there we go with Dennis just having a look out of the double B and heading down into Hypel. So we keep an eye on that one. And Jacob Stroud there has just got a little sneaky advantage as they head around into Hypel and on the run to the dipper. This is where the two-stroke is so awesome to watch.
Yeah, he picks up a little bit of daylight between himself and Jacob as they come through. I wonder what's going through Dennis Charlotte's mind, because he raced long and hard for years and years against Jacob's father, Andrew, in 600s and superbikes and all sorts of other different classes in New Zealand racing. He probably thought, well, that's it, I'm done racing the Strouds, but now Jacob's come along and taken the fight back to him and continues to lead this one.
Yeah, out of turn 10 and up the hill. So Dennis Charlotte right on the back wheel of the Kramer. So I'd say by the time they get into the line, yep, it is Dennis Charlotte sneaking ahead. So Dennis Charlotte will round off the, that's lap 4. So six to go in this Superlight TT, and Dennis Charlotte will lead them onto the back straight. And there we go, Jacob Stroud right in behind him. So if he tucks in and gets a good slipstream, it's back on for young and old as they head down into turn 2.
Yeah, well, there's only 0.2 in it. Between first and second, down into the braking area for 2. Here comes Stroud down the inside. Charlotte maybe just left the door open a little bit. Jacob Stroud goes back into the front. Charlotte comes right back at him as they head down into Kev's Carousel and into Swampy's Curves. This is where Dennis is quite good, but so too is Jacob, and that Kramer, man, it just handles like it's on rails.
Absolutely brilliant. There's the Yanni Shaw. So that's our leader for our 125 GP 250 mono, I believe. So he's run through there in the lead of that 250 Moto 3 machine. And then we look at the battle for third. So Richard Mark and Barrett's now got up on Chris Huddleston. So we see that there, the update on the track. So the 19 of Richard Mark and Barrett, the iTools Speed Junkie man on the Kramer in third place. Chris Huddleston not done with that one yet. So that's the battle for the podium. So we watch that one pretty keenly and try and catch an update of our race leaders heading into the Porsche dipper. And all on here for young and old is Dennis Charlotte and Jacob Stroud. This is going to be an absolute beauty. It's Jacob Stroud in the lead around turn 10 and heading up the hill. So we are going to keep it on this one. This is just going to go to and fro, cat and mouse, and it's anyone's guess. Dennis Charlotte has a bit of a 125 lap traffic to contend with up ahead, but Dennis Charlotte just has that great power.
He's gone past him again. He's got a lap rider in front of him. That's not going to bother him too much. Not going to bother Jacob either. Dennis Charlotte in the front once again as they head down onto the long straight here at Hampton Downs. Jacob Stroud tucked up under the rear mudguard of the Charlotte, the wobbly bike as he calls it. Jacob on the Kramer into the braking area they come once again. Now will you see Jacob pull out and try and outbrake Dennis as they head down into Foster's? No, he can't get it done this time. So maybe this is the break that Dennis Charlotte was looking for. Jacob coming back at him though as they work their way through Kev's carousel, this left-right combination, then up into Swampy's curves, and then it is the double B, the double bastard, before they rejoin the national circuit here at Hampton Downs. And the gap, 0.248 of a second last time round, and I'm picking it's going to be closer this time because Jacob Stroud's been working away at the veteran from Canterbury.
Absolutely, and the update, Chris Huddleston's back into third place as well over Richard Markenbarrett, so we'll try and keep an eye on that battle for the podium as well. But what a battle we've got for the lead at the moment. Dennis Charlotte just doing enough to keep in the number 70 at bay, so they're heading out of Halipal into the Porsche Dipper, and the 15, Dennis Charlotte. I like how we can take that nice little neat defensive line on the awesome two-stroke around the Porsche Dipper and gets out of there pretty nice and tidy. The 70 of Jacob Stroud has been leading at this point for most of the other laps, so maybe a different tactic this time from Jacob. You're going to try and sit in behind the wobbly 400 and see what sort of tow he can get up the hill and into the finish line with 4 laps to go when they cross the line, and still anyone's title at the front.
Well, 0.2 of a second last time. I think that gap might have grown a little bit. We'll see it, and you'll probably see it visually as well as they make their way up the hill. There's Dennis Charlotte. 0.2 last time round. It is 0.7, so it has grown just a little bit between first and second. Now, is it going to be a winning break? 4 laps to go. We've seen on this international circuit plenty of twists and turns, plenty of up and down. Anything can happen. Seen some fantastic finishes right throughout the weekend here at the Mike Perro Motorfest. Are we going to see another one here in this one? A TT title up for grabs. Will it be Dennis Charlotte to put another cup on his groaning, I'm sure, trophy shelf at home, or will it be Jacob Stroud?
Oh, he'll need a trophy house, I think.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, there won't be many trophies he doesn't have inside that house. But awesome stuff. Dennis Charlotte, one of the real legends of New Zealand road racing, and just this is going to be brilliant. So you've got the old hand Dennis Charlotte, we've got the young Jacob Stroud in there as well. So the old and the new, and you've also got a 1982 TZ350 when it was the first motorcycle, and then the brand new 2018 Kramer Evo as well. So you've got a bunch of different battles. That's what we love about this super light class. There's so many different, there's 2 strokes and 4 strokes, singles and multis in there, so different, a lot of awesome bikes, and yeah, he is too. He's definitely a lot closer. So into the Porsche Dipper, and this is all on. Dennis Charlotte ahead of the 70 Jacob Stroud. Look at how close Jacob gets up on the back wheel of that wobbly 400. So this is all on here, and it's going to be 3 laps to go when they cross the line.
And more importantly, 3 lap riders in front of them, so this could so easily change the complexion of this race. They head up the hill. Stroud starting to put the pressure on the veteran, but I don't know, I've never known Dennis Charlotte to crack under pressure. He's been doing this for a long time now. Up the hill he comes. Will it be the wobbly 400, or will it be the Kramer? Both these bikes engineering masterpieces. There is Dennis Charlotte, there is Jacob Stroud. 0.8 of a second, so that gap a little bit static from what we saw last time. Fastest man on the track is Dennis Charlotte with a 1:43.681. That last lap though, just a hair off the pace. Temperature still constant at 37 degrees, track temperature we're talking about now, so 0.894 the gap back. 1:43.681 for Dennis Charlotte, 1:43.889 for Jacob Stroud. Absolutely nothing in this.
Absolutely, we can update Richard Markenbarrett is out of this one, so I'm not sure what's happened to Richard. Hopefully he's a-okay, but was running in 3rd place and then back to 4th, and now he's out of this one. So that leaves the podium pretty done and dusted with Dennis Charlotte, Jacob Stroud and Chris Huddleston, but still not decided what order they're going to finish in with a lot of lap traffic. There's lap traffic 2 abreast as they head out of the double B and on the run to Hypel, and Dennis Charlotte manages to get his way through there pretty neat and tidy. So definitely some positives there, but Jacob Stroud does it as well. So definitely all on here. This is going to be brilliant. So a little bit further apart than they were this time a lap ago, but Dennis Charlotte and Jacob Stroud, this is going to be a great little battle with the wobbly 400 and the Kramer 690 Evo out there flying at the moment.
Still under a second in it as they head down towards the sweeper, the Pirelli sweeper at the top end of the circuit here. The veteran Dennis Charlotte up against the young up-and-comer. Jacob Stroud. I remember years ago we'd come down to New Zealand Superbike Road Racing Championships, and a young Jacob Stroud would help out Neil with the commentary, and he was just a little kid then. Now he's a fine young man in his own right. He's done such a lot of racing this weekend. So too is Dennis Charlotte, but Jacob Stroud, I think between Jacob and Jesse and Caleb, they'll probably run about 20 races over the space of the weekend. And at the moment, Dennis Charlotte continues to lead as they head up the hill once more.
Yeah, you've got to be full credit to Team Lizard Racing, Mick Ruane and the team there with Honda Cars and Shuzi, all the sponsors behind Team Stroud Racing. Just absolutely brilliant from the team there. And to do, I think it was something like 27 races with 8 bikes among the weekend,
yeah,
so something like that. And that is quite an undertaking, so brilliant stuff. We're all involved from Team Stroud Racing, and great to see them getting the rewards they deserve at the moment.
1.231 seconds, so the gap has grown between Dennis and Jacob at the front of this field. Yeah, I was talking to Kiwi Steve yesterday when I was heading away, and he said, I just want to sit down and have a bit of a relax. I've been preparing so many different bikes right throughout the day. He said he's lost track of time, of everything. Such was the busyness in the pit just down here behind race control at Hampton Downs.
So there we go, the update there. We've thought a change for the lead. So Jacob on the run into Highpool. There we go, they're going to be side by side, and Dennis going to sneak up the inside, and Jake's going to take the line away. So I think we've got an unofficial, no, we can call it now, he's got it done. So out of the Porsche tipper, we've got Jacob Stroud, the number 70, is back into the lead of this one, and the white flag out, ready and waiting. So this is definitely not done for yet. There's lap traffic to contend with, and Dennis goes back underneath. Look at that. Unbelievable. So the two-stroke power under brake gets him back underneath, and this is going to be a brilliant run to the line with Dennis Charlotte leading Jacob Stroud with 1 lap to go. The white flag is ready and waiting, and so we are in for a beauty here as they cross the line. White flag is out last lap.
And I just wonder if that lap rider got in the way a little bit for Jacob. No, I think he might have just cleared him in time, so they head down the Fosters.
Into turn 2, so he's done it.
He's got it, but can he hold it? Can he hold it?
So I think this part of the track really suits the Kramer, the single-cylinder Kramer Evo bike, and then that run to the line, that TZ 350 power. So brilliant stuff. So we watch this one. This is definitely going to be an enthralling finish to this one.
And heading riders as well.
Riders to contend with as well. So we have a look through there. Dennis Charlotte's managed to get through them and now into the double B. So we watch this one pretty keenly. Heading out of the double B, and Jacob Stroud, look at that little advantage he's got, that nice little buffer as they come into Highpool. So this is going to be Dennis's to have to work for, and Jacob's to lose. So a decent enough gap.
Yeah, he's going to have to be closer, isn't he? He's not going to have the horsepower advantage with a gap like that as they come into the dipper for the last time. Remember, the white flag is out. They're running to the checkered flag, and Dennis Charlotte, I don't know that he's close enough. He was closer the last time round, and he really put the acid on Jacob Stroud, but I think Jacob might have the winning break here. Don't want to rain on Dennis's parade. He gets a little bit closer now as they head down into the sweeper for the last time. Does he get a good drive out of this double apex corner and heads up the hill? The Kramer of Jacob Stroud running as wide as possible, right on the white line.
He's reeling him in.
He's got the
I think he's got it done.
Has he? Here comes
Brilliant stuff
on a brilliant last lap charge, but it's Jacob Stroud that's going to get there with the historic number 70 on the plates of the Kramer, and Jacob Stroud caps his day with a win in the Superlights, the 125 Grand Prix and the 250 Mono TT here at Hampton Downs. Great fight from Dennis Charlotte. You always know you're going to be in a contest with Dennis, and he certainly took it to young Jacob, but Jacob has prevailed here in the TT. Great stuff racing here at Hampton Downs. Gee, it's been good this weekend, Neil Ritchie.
It actually feels better though to lose my money on the TAB than to just sit there anyway. All right, so yeah.
There we go, Jacob Stroud, Dennis Charlotte, Chris Huddleston. That is your podium. So brilliant stuff, and that last lap from Jacob, the fastest lap of the race, a 1:43.332. So he saved his best till last in the 10 lapper, and full credit to Jacob Stroud. What a ride! The Honda Cars Team Lizard Racing, brilliant Kramer Evo 690 rather. That's your top three. Scotty Finlay, he finishes in 4th place. So that's a post classic pre-89 bike out there in the super light field. An awesome ZX 400. out there doing it, and I think we can call the 125. Yanni Shaw has won that one, so Yanni Shaw ahead of Chris Malcolm and Taryn Ocean there, so waiting for them to cross the line. But Yanni Shaw definitely takes the 125 250 mono Grand Prix. There's Chris Malcolm coming through and Taryn Ocean in there in third, so we can confirm that as well. Brilliant stuff from those 125 250 mono boys. Yanni Shaw, Chris Malcolm, Taryn Ocean. That's your podium with Dan Jenkins, the first of the two strokes home, in fourth place.
I think that's Yanni making a clean sweep, isn't it? He's won this class every time.
Yep, I think that's a 3 from 3 perfect weekend from Yanni. So the class Australian visitor will extend his. He already had a pretty handy points advantage coming into this one, and my word, he's going to have quite an advantage heading into round 4 and 5. So yeah, this is round 3 of 5. Still go to Manfield on the 30th and 31st, and then the 6th and 7th of April we go to Bruce McLaren Motorsport Park in Taupo for the final round, and we can't wait for that one. If the racing's going to be this good, Phil, you're going to have to get there, I think.
Yeah, work commitments might stop me, but that's the thing, folks. I was thinking about this walking in this morning, you know. Yeah, the racing here at Hampton Downs has been absolutely ballistic, but it's the same at Manfield. It'll be the same at Taupo. The racing won't change. It'll be absolutely on for young and old, and probably more so at the final round in Taupo at Bruce McLaren Motorsport Park. But Manfield, just the best track in New Zealand for spectating. You can see the whole circuit from one spot, and man, it is technical. It's hard on the gear. It's hard on the riders. That could be the decider in the 2019 New Zealand Superbike Road Racing Championship. More racing still to come here at Hampton Downs. Next up, it is the Pro Twins, and then it is the Carl Cox Motorsport Hyacinth Cup and Kawasaki Ninja Race.
Standing in, boys.
$100
Well, it had appeared to be a benefit for our Auckland club members who are much more polished and do a lot more racing here at Hampton Downs. But two Cantab boys here on it. First of all to Chris, taken a while to get used to Hampton, but now that you've nailed it, a third place for the TD, well done.
Thank you. Yeah, it's hard coming here just once a year, so it takes to the end of the day to really get your head around it and get your gearing right. We made a gearing change for that one. It made it slightly better, but yeah, still not quite with these boys. We'll get there.
We'll get there. Well done, Chris. Great to see. Well, Dennis, what I can say is, damn, you lost my money at the TAB, but I won't blame you as such, but you get the joke. We always like to have something about it. Mate, you look so good, and all of a sudden, was it a mistake? Did something happen? Did we miss it?
Yeah, backmarker nearly ran me off the track, so yeah, that just, just blew it really. I was just pacing myself. I knew that Jacob was right there, and yeah, I just wanted to be right there, right to the coming onto the straight. So I knew I'd have him down the straight, but it didn't work out like this time.
All right, indeed. But hey, more importantly, the Wobbly's getting to finish racing. Isn't that good?
Yeah, it's awesome, eh? That's the main thing for this weekend. At least we've started the whole weekend, right from Friday to today, and finished everything we've started. So that's a big, step forward.
Great to see, Dennis. Well done. Jacob, well, you had to stand in that spot one of the earlier races, but you've just come back in the one that counted. How's it feel?
Oh, it feels great. I mean, we've had all day. We won a few races yesterday, but missed out today. So it's always good to be back here and talking to you, Neil.
Oh, it is lovely, Jacob. What's the secret that time? Did you always sense that you could get this old fella?
Probably not until I crossed the finish line, actually. It was probably the only time that I thought I could beat him. No, Dennis really played that bike to his strengths in the corners, and then down the straights, obviously, we just didn't have enough juice. We always knew that the Wobbly was going to be